What is your name?
My name is Allison Boyle.
And how old are you?
I am 17 years old.
So you are, what year?
I'm a senior
in
high school.
And you're homeschooled?
And I'm homeschooled.
And
yes.
you're a homeschooled athlete?
Yes.
You're on the volleyball team?
I am a player on the Baltimore Bravehearts.
What is that like? What's it like being a homeschooled athlete?
I like it a lot. It's definitely different than being a part of a public school team. Freshman year, I went to the local high school down the street, and I played volleyball for them. And then I decided to come back home, and we found the Baltimore Bravehearts, and I love playing for them.
Mm-hmm. And how does it compare? You said it's definitely different. What are the differences?
Some differences, definitely the community. At the school, it was very different. I guess sort of the attitude of new people coming on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of a new entity for the public school team. I had known some of the girls from previous volleyball camps and doing other sorts of things in the community, but I wasn't really that great of friends with them.
Uh-huh.
And so that definitely affects team chemistry and that type of thing. On the Bravehearts, I was on a team 2009, all seniors, and I felt instantly welcome.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one thing.
Now, do you guys, as homeschool athletes, do you guys talk about this bill at all? The concept of being able to play for your local public school team while being homeschooled?
Yes, I actually have a friend down in Virginia who I met through working on my documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays baseball, and he would love to play during the regular season. But the closest homeschool team is 4 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, we've talked about it, I've thought about it, and I think the option should be available.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people probably they would or they wouldn't use
mm-hmm.
the option, but that really just comes down to the family and what their needs are.
Mm-hmm. Now, having been on both sides, what is is there like a certain attitude for homeschool athletes towards public schools and public school athletes towards homeschool athletes? Because based on my conversations, it seems like the public schools are kind of welcoming to homeschool athletes, and at least the guy Patrick Foss, who I talked to from Virginia, was very. He said like, well, lawmakers are making it sound like they don't want us, but all my friends in town want me to play for the public school team. What is it like in your experiences?
Up here, it's kind of different. A lot of public schoolers I run into and I talk to, they're like, whoa, you're homeschooled. And then when you get to talking about sports and everything, they're like, whoa, you're homeschooled and you play sports too? How does that all work? And it's not that they're like not open to the idea. I think they are. I just think they're unaware
Mm-hmm.
that, there is such a thing as homeschooled athletes
Mm-hmm.
that exist. It's a very different entity of society.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Would you, you said it seems like you're more comfortable with the homeschool team. Would you, if the let's say the bill came up right now and you had the option to go back and play, would you stick with the Bravehearts?
That's a difficult question because I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't play for the Bravehearts.
Mm-hmm.
I would be a completely different player, a completely different person, and I'm not sure if I could reverse time and then fast forward and see what I would be. If I had gone to public school, it would be interesting to see who I would have become. That's also a difficult question considering the team that I would have played up all 4 years just won states.
No.
So I think right now, this being my senior year and everything, I probably would have stuck with the Bravehearts.
Mm-hmm.
My senior year was a good experience.
Mm-hmm. And what is the high school you played for?
Century High School.
Uh-huh. Now, you mentioned your documentary.
Mm-hmm.
What's the documentary focusing on? What kind of, what's the subject and
the general focus.
Yeah, exactly.
The general focus is just on the different parts of being just a homeschool team in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've talked to a lot of the people on the football team, the volleyball team. There was some basketball team. One homeschool team actually up here was unable to have a team this year because they didn't have enough players.
Mm-hmm.
But the general focus of my documentary is just the different aspects of homeschool teams, what you have to plan, and just showing that there's a lot more behind it than what a lot of people think, and just raising awareness about it.
Has this subject about the Tebow bill come up at all in that documentary, or is it pretty much focused on the actual
A little bit. It wasn't my original focus, but I'm inclined to include a little bit of it. So, because it is an issue that is affecting not only the homeschool community, but the public school community.
Talking to your mom, it sounds like she's concerned about, what it could do to the actual, educational side of homeschooling if this proposed bill came to Maryland. Is that a fear that the student athletes have, or do you think that they're kind of more focused on the athletics aspect?
I think they'd also be concerned. The athletes are also concerned for the academics, because, at least for me, I definitely enjoy being homeschooled. I have a lot of opportunities to do things like dual enrollment, like not only just senior year, as a lot of public schoolers are only allowed to do. I can be dually enrolled in community college from, if you can pass the test, from sophomore year all the way through senior year. So getting college credits. But what was the question?
Basically.
Oh, the academic thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it. So it's definitely a concern, because I know a lot of homeschool families, they want to teach what they want to teach, and they homeschool because they have different views that they want to instill in their child, and they have different priorities in teaching their child. And so from that perspective, I am kind of concerned about it.
Do you think that being a homeschooled athlete makes it more difficult to be recruited for college athletics?
Definitely. You are just unknown to all these college coaches. If I was on the Century volleyball team and we had won states, then I'm sure a lot of college coaches would be, knocking. But but due to being an unknown entity, it kind of makes it harder for them to find you. However, that's where the club season comes in. Club season is very important if you want to play in college, and that is more of where you get noticed, more so than like the public school system.
So at the end of the day, let's say in a few years from now, this bill comes up in Maryland. It's kind of sweeping the country. It sounds like you'd be happy to come here. Not sure if you'd use it. Is that safe to say?
Yes, very. Yeah.
And I guess, do you think that would have a positive impact in general on the homeschooled / public school community, or?
On the homeschooled athletic community, probably not so well. Like, from the perspective of you're on a homeschool team, that perspective. Out of all the homeschoolers, there's only a select few that are homeschooled and they're athletes. And then you divide that again, you divide it based on the sport. You've got a very small number of people to work with, and so with that, having the option to go play for a public school, I feel, and knowing, financially how it's a struggle and time commitment and all that, I know a lot of homeschool athletes would probably use that option. Public school, I don't know how they'd like it, because I know at least for volleyball, there are 6 spots out on that court, and I know some teams, they have 18 players on a team. So that's, I I know a lot of public schoolers may not like that homeschoolers are stealing their spots.